Okay, so we're out here in the little bit of rain. We should go away. Under the most imperfect tree that's raining on me. Thought it would stop a little bit. I went ahead and rode it a little bit without the engine running, with the clutch lever pulled. As soon as you let off that clutch lever, it the engine engages and it almost stops you, which is good because you want to crank over the engine. So you gotta get some speed. I went ahead and pulled the brake lever coming to a stop, and this tank actually stops it from releasing the cable. So I'm gonna have to put a shim in there to make it work right. It'll at least work for one go. Just don't use the brake. Just use the grass around me to stop. That also made sure the chain stayed on, which it did. I'm looking at it again just to make sure it did. And yeah, everything worked right. I did think it felt a little weird because I normally use my front brake a little bit, and I went to grab it and I actually grabbed the clutch lever. So I may switch the clutch and the brake around. I think that'll work. But everything's in its spot. We're going to start by putting some fuel in there. You may see it in the camera, you may not, but fuel may go through here. I have it shut off. It shouldn't go through at all. And then we'll make sure it goes through, and then we'll push the little bleeder to see if any is in the carburetor, and then you'll be mounted to my head. You should hear it if it starts because these things are loud. I'm not going to fill the tank up. I'm just going to put a little bit of fuel in there, enough to wet its whistle. Okay, there we go. About a half a tank. Fills up pretty quick. I'm worried that it will not start because as soon as I let off that clutch, it was on there good. No fuel went through that little line, as you can see. Now I'm going to turn it one way and hopefully fuel will go through. I got the cap back on. If the cap doesn't breathe, then no fuel will go through. There we go. Did you see that? Fuel went through. I could see little bubbles you may not be able to see. Some bubbles came up showing that it's full, and it's leaking out the last bit of the carb. I'm going to push this, and fuel came out. Should be another bubble coming up pretty soon, and it didn't. Bubble in there is no problem. Next, you're going to be mounted to my head, and we're going to try to drive it. So to drive this, you got to be insane. You got to pedal, get it up to speed, release this clutch lever, which engages that, and it pumps the engine, and it should fire right up. You can give it a little bit of throttle at the same time. I don't think it's going to do a wheelie, but ride around a little bit and make sure this chain's all right. Now that I've rode it a little bit, I do have some slack in there, so I'll adjust that up, or these over and that up, to get rid of that, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to make sure it runs, which I think I'm going to run into that problem. Okay, time to get on my head. Okay, putting you guys on my head. Hopefully it's you guys can see what you need to see. Now, it's my girlfriend's birthday today, and I told her the final gift would be this thing messing up and me dying. So your last gift is me dying on this bike. So I don't know if you guys can see everything. See if I can point you down just a little bit further. Don't really need to see what's in front of me. Make sure it's even recording. Okay, it's recording. So this may be like oh shit. My new folder. Oh shit. Okay, kickstand's up. We're not in the easiest gear. Let's adjust that down to where pedaling's a bit easier. Okay. Well, it fired. That's a good thing. Now I'm in an easier gear. It's a lot. Whew. Hey, I got it to fire. Go really fast. Feels like it's not really getting the fuel. Oh yeah, it's choked. Let's unchoke it. It was choked from earlier in the video. It ran. Well, I was going to show you guys that it runs. Sitting still. Let me take that off my head. Okay, for one, that field isn't flat. Why am I out of breath? Whoa. Oh, fuel's coming out the fuel cap. So that's a good thing to remember. I used the brakes once. Put you up against a tree, Jesus. So, on a note, I almost flooded it for it being choked. Something is going bang back here. I don't quite know what that is. It actually feels like a suspension, but it don't have suspension. But for now, I'm going to loosen these brakes, and we're going to go down a side road. See how fast it goes. Yeah, let's not do that. See the slack I got on there? That could fall off. Make sure everything's tight. We could go down it at a moderate speed. It keeps dying itself, which is good because I don't have the kill switch hooked up. I'll ride it for a while and then we'll hook up the kill switch. Yeah, let's go for a little ride. Make sure the brakes aren't hooked up still. So the front brakes should have no problem at all. I also smelled the exhaust a little. There is a problem with the throttle. Don't know which way okay, throttle goes that way. I feel like the throttle's already broken. What am I in a different gear? There we go. I don't know if you guys can hear the feeling I was talking about. That's the chain jumping the gear. So I'm not going to go too fast. Just take it back home. So I was letting it run out of fuel.